Last week, they devalued their currency. And we're having a lot of hard times because of what they did. And when I hear devaluation of the Chinese currency, you know the word, the sucking action. That's called a sucking, like a vacuum cleaner. I have the sucking action. Two things happen. Two things get sucked out of us. Our jobs and our money.
Republican frontrunner Donald Trump in Mobile, Alabama Friday night, taking on China and criticizing the Chinese economy. But the Donald did not stop there. He also took to Twitter and used our current conditions on Wall Street to remind voters about the dangers associated with tying our economy to China's. Here's his tweet. Markets are crashing, all caused by poor planning and allowing China and Asia to dictate the agenda. This could get very messy. Vote Trump. For more on the political dynamics of the economic situation, we're pleased to welcome in from Nashville, Tennessee via Skype, Scottie Nell Hughes, the news director for the Tea Party News Network, and hard at work in the newsroom of the Washington Examiner, the managing editor for that publication, Phillip Klein. Thank you both for being here. Scottie Nell, when we hear Donald talk about a sucking sound, that reminds me of Ross Perot back in '92, but it seems to be working for Trump based on current economic conditions vis-a-vis China.
Absolutely. And you look at what has happened today, it does not take a rocket scientist to look at what was going on last night in the Chinese markets and how the U.S. market was so volatile at the close of last Friday to realize that we were going to have an utter chaos on our hands this morning. And the lack of leadership has led up to this. It's not hard to predict that days like this are going to come, and they're going to be more frequent unless we have somebody step up into leadership within the United States and the global economies and put a stop to this.
Phillip, Klein, let me get your thoughts on it. Is Trump making too much of the China connection?
I mean, I think that there is clearly the connection with in our global economy with China is having a chance, is changing and having an effect in the markets in the U.S. However, what Trump would do about it and what policies he would have that would somehow change things, I don't really see. I just hear a lot of bombast.
Well, let's take a look at some things that might change. Scottie Nell, during my days in Congress, I voted against what used to be called most favored nation status with China because of the preconditions the Chinese set. You want to do business there, they have to have majority interest. They set up other things that Trump, as a negotiator, at least holds out the promise or the potential of changing.
Absolutely. And you sit there and you look at a man who has done business with China, so therefore he knows our laws, he knows their laws, much more than probably any other candidate on the GOP ticket, and definitely more than the people that are sitting in the White House right now. So why not sit there and say that? I mean, we know that the Chinese government have truly making their numbers up, selling it to their own people, so they're putting pressure on their own stockholders that they couldn't sell their stocks. So we knew all of that was going on, yet our president in his PC mode refused to admit it, refused to hold them accountable for it. We need a president that knows what's going on and not afraid to sit there and say, listen, you want to do business with us? We need honesty.
Phillip, let me go to you. You used the term bombast earlier, but the business background that Trump has appeals to a whole lot of folks. Can you see the appeal?
He has a lot of experience going bankrupt repeatedly. So
four
times
out of 1,000.
Let him finish, Scottie Nell, then you'll get your chance.
Yeah, he went bankrupt 4 times. So
and now
congratulations.
He's a success. Well, now he's a success, though. He's worth over $10 billion.
Okay,
Obviously,
what relevance that has in trying to set international things.
You brought it up.
No, but my point is that you're touting him as some sort of this genius businessman, but because of his brilliance as a businessman, he's going to somehow be able to change the situation with China. And that's just not realistic, given that he hasn't given any actual tangible policy ideas for how he'd accomplish that.
It's not about showing leadership in times of ease. It's showing leadership in times of hardship. Martin Luther King Jr. said something along those lines. Guess what? He did that with his organizations. There's no bigger chaos than there is right now within the United States economy. So why not give it a try? You obviously can't do any worse than the administration's doing right now, which is nothing. We've heard nothing out of Jack Lew. We've heard nothing out of Yellen this morning. And the president tonight is in Las Vegas talking about green energy and solar panels. That's disconnect right there.
Phillip, you'll get the last word. 45 seconds, sir.
Yeah, I don't think ushering in a protectionist trade policy and shutting down a major trade partner is the right economic agenda. And I think I'm pretty confident in saying that Donald Trump has not laid out anything, and saying that you're a businessman and that you could somehow change that into international trade policy as a president is just not accurate.
Phillip, Klein, Scottie Nell Hughes, to you both, our thanks. The cap that Donald Trump has been wearing on the campaign trail and at campaign stops, blazing out his Make America Great Again slogan, has become a sensation. And now you can get your very own Make America Great Again cap free with this offer. Just pay shipping and handling. Go to newsmax.com/TrumpCap or call 1-800-933-8396.